Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. My name is Dominic, and I'm the owner here at Motivate Personal Fitness Academy in Sutter Creek, where we specialize in small group fitness training and one-on-one personal training.
How long have you been open?
10 years.
What has been your biggest challenge and your greatest reward having Motivate Fitness?
My biggest challenge and greatest reward, my biggest challenge is probably figuring out how to keep my business running through COVID. Learning how to get creative and pivoting my business so I can sustain that crazy time in our life. And what that looked like is I ended up having to go online and do a lot of online training and stuff that I did not like doing, kind of like this. But I ended up getting decent at it. I'm a little out of practice, but that was probably my biggest challenge as a business owner. My greatest reward, I think, is just being able to work with all different types of people. I mean, I'm working with, kids, teenagers for the first time. They've never worked out before. And I'm working with my oldest client right now is 86 years old, and he just wants to stand and ski and continue to do the thing. So, and everyone in between, it's really been an awesome opportunity to be able to work with all different types of people and help them improve their life.
If you had one common challenge outside of food that you could give like as advice, or that is a common challenge that people have in the fitness arena, what would that be?
Every single time someone wants to get started, they go 100% in. And I think what happens is once people make that decision, I want to lose 15 pounds or I want to build muscle or whatever, they go 100% and they burn out in a couple weeks. And I would say the best advice I can give someone is just, get your feet wet, just start moving, get outside, go for your walks. Once that feels good, start changing up your nutrition a little bit, making little tiny changes to your daily routine that are going to affect you long term. I see that all the time. People just really want to get gung-ho and they get going and they oftentimes fall off the wagon because it's too much to handle up front.
Can you share a favorite childhood memory that still brings you joy?
My favorite childhood memory that brings me joy, the number one thing that is coming back to me is our family vacations in Lake Tahoe. Every summer, my parents would, take us up to a house in Tahoe. We'd spend a week on the beach and hiking and just spending time as a family. And I think when you asked me that question, that was the first thing that came to my mind is just that quality time at my favorite place, Lake Tahoe.
If you had one person outside of your parental figures that influenced who you are today, who would that be?
My wife and my daughter. They've changed my whole world. They've shown me the definition of what it means to live on this planet. And they show me a true definition of love that's outside of your parents. Your parents, they have to love you because they're your parents. But when you find that spouse of yours, they choose to love you, and then you end up having a child with that person. And then that's the result of your love with your spouse. And I think it's the most life-changing and most incredible experience because now there's this little human who just loves me unconditionally. And, I would do anything for her. So I would say the most influential people in my life are my wife and my daughter.
What is a painful experience that you went through that you don't mind sharing that you never thought you would recover?
Becoming a father. And we had a very unique beginning to parenthood. My daughter was born with some special medical needs. And when you're in it, you just feel like it's never going to end. And it's just constant worry and constant stress. And as a father, trying to find the strength to support not only your daughter, but also your wife. And when I was in it, it was pretty tough because I know what I have going on at home and I still own this business. I still had to come here and positively affect my members' lives too, without bringing my personal life into it. And I think just when I was in the middle of that, it was probably the most challenging part. And I didn't think I couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel because it just seemed like it was, never going to end. But someone once told me it's just a moment in time. And I hung on to that and it's true. And now we're through it and my daughter's thriving and my wife is thriving and my business is getting back on track. And it was just a moment in time and I'm stronger on the other end of it.
If you could go back into time, well, you're a young man. So if you could go back to your 20s and give your 20-something-year-old self one piece of advice, what would that be and why?
I would say it would probably be to not worry so much about what other people thought about me. I was born and raised in this county and, I know a lot of people naturally because of that. And with that comes a lot of judgment and a lot of rumors and a lot of family history to work through and, what people think they know about you. But I think when you become an adult, especially a young adult in a small town, especially in a place where you've always been, I think that really ramps up because now you're an adult trying to charge your own path, create your own journey. And it's hard to not let those intrusive thoughts enter about what people think about you. And I think that held me back a lot for a long time to really get after what I wanted to do, because I was just too worried about what other people thought, including people in my own circle, my own family or my own friends. It's not just, community members. It's you have to really work through those emotions with people closest with you too, and just really be confident in what it is that you want in your life. So I think that would be my number one advice to give myself, is just to be confident and to not worry about what other people think, because it's your life and it's your journey.
If your life were a book, what would the title be and why?
Well, I've always had an idea for a title of a book if I ever wrote a book. It's a little bit inappropriate, but I always wanted to write a book that said "Shit My Clients Say." And it sounds funny because it sounds like, I'm just going to talk about all the goofy stuff my clients say, but really there'd be some substance under that of the shit my clients say can really be profound. And I've learned a lot of things from these clients over the years that didn't realize they were teaching me things. It was just shit they were talking to me about, their own life or their own experience or their own advice they didn't realize they were giving. So I've always wanted to write a book that would be titled "Shit My Clients Say." And it would be the funny stories and the profound stories and the life-changing stories and the little nuggets that I've taken along the way that have helped mold me as a human.
What does the term "raising the bar" mean to you?
Going after it, taking it to the next level.
What do you want your legacy to be when you're no longer here?
That I was a great human and a great father and a great spouse. I think my ultimate legacy would just to be known for being a person who just wanted to affect people's lives positively, and have a daughter that's proud of me, and she's proud to talk about her dad, a wife that's proud to talk about her husband. And so I think that'd be the ultimate legacy I could ask for, is just becoming a human that people just feel I had impacted their life, in a great way.